Marcus Welby, M.D., and the Dick Cavett Show will not be seen tonight, so that we may bring you live color coverage of the 42nd Annual Awards of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences.
The highlights of Oscar night, the arrival of celebrities. First from years gone by, and now tonight. Here's Gig Young, nominee for Best Supporting Actor in They Shoot Horses, Don't They? And here comes the Duke, John Wayne, always instant box office, and the Best Actor candidate this year for his starring role in True Grit. Here's an interior of the beautiful Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. Longtime favorite Fred MacMurray together with his bride June Haber. And here is today's epitome of beauty, Raquel Welch. Very popular with press the world over. There's Dyan, Best Supporting Actress candidate for Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. Followed by Jane Fonda, the famous Fonda acting family. Also a star of They Shoot Horses, Don't They? And also an Oscar nominee tonight. And here's famed director Vincent Minnelli, with his daughter Liza Minnelli, a nominee in the Best Acting category. Regardless of the ratings of the motion pictures referred to tonight, all excerpts have been edited for presentation on this program. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, Mr. Gregory Peck.
Good evening, and welcome to the 42nd Annual Academy Awards presentation. Tonight, for the first time, Mexico and Brazil join the United States and Canada in viewing our extravaganza live as it happens. The rest of our international audience, estimated at 250 million people in 40 countries, must wait a few hours to see the festivities on videotape or film. For our friends abroad, a word of explanation. You'll be seeing in the next 2 hours what has become a major news event, the annual recognition by American film artists and technicians of excellence in achievement during the year just passed. Because we're performers and storytellers, we'll be doing our best to entertain you at the same time. And I think you're about to see the most star-studded, surprise-packed Academy show of them all. Now, here's how the voting for the awards is done. In February, Academy members voted by secret ballot for 5 nominees in each category. Nominating is done by specialists in each field. For example, only cinematographers may nominate cinematographers, writers, and so on. And then in March, our 3,172 members vote for the finalists, again by secret ballot. Academy officials do not conduct the balloting. The votes are mailed by the voters to Pricewaterhouse and Company certified public accountants. They're counted and tabulated there, with the final results known only to one man, the estimable Mr. Bill Miller, who is here for the 17th time with the envelopes which will mean so much to so few. Mr. Miller.
Thank you, Greg. Here's your certificate from Pricewaterhouse that we've again tabulated the ballots in secret. We have the results in these sealed envelopes, which my partner, Mr. Bob Ford, and I will be handing to the presenters tonight.
Thank you, Bill. Don't go away. Okay. Most of us these days are asking ourselves and each other these questions. What is the meaning of the new freedom of the screen? Is it something to be feared? Should the screen be censored? The Academy has dispatched a man with a camera to various places to visit with some of the directors who are making the films everybody's talking about. We asked them some pertinent questions, which elicited some surprising answers. A little later on during the program, we're going to show you a few excerpts from those interviews. And now, I'm pleased to present to you some very special friends of the Academy who will be looking after your interests this evening. First, Miss Claudia Cardinale. Elliott Pugh. Myrna Lloyd. Voight. Barbra McNair. Astaire. Elizabeth Taylor. McGraw. Robertson. Katharine. James Earl Jones. Candice. Candice Bergen. Raquel Welch. Clint Eastwood. Barbra Streisand. And John Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce America's ambassador of laughter, one of Oscar's best friends, and I mean friend in the truest sense. They've gone steady for years, but never married. He's one of the world's best-loved comedians and a man of true grit. His dressing room floor is covered with it. Here's everybody's friend, Bob Hope. Late with that, aren't you?
Yeah, well, John, I didn't think you'd show. You remember me, Moisha? Here. Go out and sell a few shirts.
Well, after tonight, we both may.
Thank you, John. Yes, sir. He certainly did a fine job, acting job in true grit, and I'm happy about that. Up until then, I thought he was just another pretty face. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to They Shoot Down Actors, don't they? The movie industry's annual handing out of the Oscars, or as it's known at my house, Mission Impossible. This is the night the Oscars separate the men from the boys in the band. What a fine turnout for the awards this year. It's so crowded, Bob and Carol, Ted and Alice had to sit in the same seat. A beautifully gowned, elegantly coiffured gathering dedicated to the proposition that jealousy and envy shall not perish from the earth. But as I look around the theater, I've never seen nominees who were so clean, so calm, so cool, all waiting for that dramatic moment when the Novocaine wears off. I must say it's a beautiful crowd, and everyone who is anyone in Hollywood is here tonight. I know Liz Taylor's here. I saw a Brinks truck parked outside. But this is really a night to remember. It's such a novelty seeing actors and actresses with their clothes on. And what tension. I haven't felt this much electricity since I backed into Glenn Campbell's guitar. And I want to say there were some great acting performances going on in the lobby. I just saw Mayor Yorty and Governor Reagan shaking hands and smiling at each other. And don't say anything to Goldie Hawn. She thinks this is just another taping of Laugh In. She saw the Oscars and thought they were the fickle fingers of fate. And come to think of it, well, let's be sure. If you notice, we're less formal up here this year. Gregory Peck's tails didn't get back from the cleaners in time. I don't mind, but having to wear a tux was quite a jolt to Fred Astaire. He wears tails to take out the garbage. Anyway, I hope your favorite wins tonight, although I know mine won't. But we do live in a wonderful age. Today you can board a jet in Los Angeles, sit back to enjoy the latest movie, and by the time it's over, you're in Cuba. Voting was complicated somewhat this year by the postal strike. When they finally delivered the back mail, it turned out that Toby Wing got 3 votes. It's been quite a year for movies. Did you ever think you'd see Richard Burton play both a king and a queen? This will go down in history as the cinema season which proved that crime doesn't pay, but there's a fortune in adultery, incest, and homosexuality. That's what we're honoring tonight: a sadistic king, a consumptive drifter, a male hustler, a schoolteacher dropout, and a one-eyed sheriff. This is not an Academy Awards, it's a freak-out, ladies and gentlemen. Now, some great films have been nominated. They Shoot Horses is about people who dance all night. Anne of 1,000 Days is about a king who fights with his wife all night. And Midnight Cowboy is about a Texan who manages to keep busy, too. Anne was shot in England, Z in Algeria, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in Mexico. The only shots in Hollywood were the ones the actors got before they left for England, Algeria, and Mexico. And then there's The Sterile Cuckoo. Up until a few months ago, I thought that was the life of Tiny Tim. Then we have MASH, the story of the golf foursome that plays directly ahead of Spiro Agnew. I once bought a roll of paper towels called Z. But I never thought there was a movie in it. But that's the way the movies are. Duke Wayne's been around for years, but's nominated with him is John Voight, whose only motion picture experience was 2 years ago when he was a blood donor for a Vincent Price movie. Elliott Gould, he's one of the new young stars to come to Hollywood with talent, charm, and a total disregard for the threatening letters I sent him. And I felt so sorry for Dustin Hoffman in Midnight Cowboy. He looked so weary and run down, like he'd started running around again with that Mrs. Robinson. And how about some of those pictures today, like Without a Stitch and What Do You Say to a Naked Lady? Remember when Hollywood was looking for new faces? And action movies meant westerns? And a movie score referred to the music? These X-rated movies are really... I think we sail in a few minutes, folks. These X-rated movies are really something. One theater manager told me he's been popping corn for 6 months and still hasn't plugged the machine in. I must say, if this trend continues, they won't have new stars putting their footprints in the cement at Grauman's Theater. They'll have sit-ins. Pictures sure have changed. I hear they're doing a remake of Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. But in this version, guess what she's growing? Today, high noon would be about a lunch hour in a junior high school. Nothing is taboo anymore. Now, when a cowboy rides off into the sunset on his horse, it's just the beginning of a beautiful friendship. And how about those Swedish movies? When they shoot outside the bedroom, it's called going on location. They're putting things on the screen that the French wouldn't allow on postcards.